First, you'll want to make your skin look really pale. I'm pretty pale anyway, so I'm just going to use my own foundation because I like the coverage. The only issue with using this shade is it's warm toned, which isn't very vampire-ish. So I'm just going to use a lighter concealer than what I would usually use. I'm going to apply this on the high points of my face to really kind of wash out my complexion. You could also just use a normal foundation a couple of shades lighter than your skin tone. However, that might be a bit difficult for pale people, in which case you could just mix white face paint with your normal foundation and that will also work. And then just making the skin even paler by applying this powder all over the face. Next, I'm using black eyeshadow to fill in and define my brows. Next, I'm taking my Nye Bruise colour wheel and I'm just using the red and the blue to create some over-the-top dark circles. I'm also going to take it through the crease because this is going to end up being our blend out colour as well, so if you don't have the colour wheel you could just use purple eyeshadow instead. Next, take a black eyeliner and I'm using Sigma's Boost, which is my new favourite, and you just want to apply this underneath the eye like so. Use a smudge brush to soften the edge and then take a black eyeshadow and blend it out even further. Then I'm just taking the blue and the red from the Bruise Wheel again and I'm just applying this right over the edge of the black, and it just gives the edges this really nice purple tint. Next, I'm taking Silver Ring by MAC and I'm just applying it all over the lid. Then just take a fluffy brush and blend out the edges. Now you can see where I applied the purple first. It just creates dimension and definition without you even having to define the crease or anything. It's just effortless. Then I'm just taking the silver again and applying this in the inner corner underneath the eye. Because some of the silver has fallen down into the black, I just went back in with the black to keep it nice and intense. Next, I'm lining my upper and lower waterline and I'm using Sigma's Boost again. Then I'm using a gel liner to just line my eyes and I'm pulling out the wing pretty far at the edge, and I'm also going to bring it to a point in the inner corner. With a smudge brush, just go over the edges of the liner with a black eyeshadow to create that lovely smoky liner effect. You don't want to smoke out the wing, keep that quite nice and sharp, but across the lid, just make sure you blend it out really nicely into the grey eyeshadow. Smoky liner is basically my favourite technique at the moment because now across the lid you have that gradient from a nice intense black to grey to the purple at the edge, and it just looks seamless. I really like it. Add a highlight underneath the brow and then move on to the eyelashes. I'm not really a fan of fake looking lashes at all, but for this look, which is dramatic and theatrical, it kind of seemed right to do them. Finish off the eyes with some mascara and then we can move on to some contouring. You want to be using something like a grey eyeshadow and just applying it very lightly. Then just go ahead and add a highlight. Now I was going to put effort into the lips and do a nice dark ombre lip, but then I figured I'm just going to ruin it anyway and just make a mess with some fake blood, so I didn't bother. So instead I just picked up the closest colour I had to the deep plummy red colour on the vampire dress I was wearing. Next you'll want to add some fangs because what's a vampire without fangs? This ain't Twilight. I'm using the Scarecrow Love Bite fangs because they're the smallest and most comfortable ones I could find. Then finally you'll want to add some blood if you want to make it really obvious what you're supposed to be. But then that's it. I hope you like it. The products will be listed in the description as always, and there you can also find my links to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. So come and say hi, and thank you for watching.